Hello everyone and welcome back to Strife Solutions. I am of course William Strife here on the YogPack server, and this is modded Minecraft, YogPack complete. If you guys want to give a shot to this mod pack, you can download it yourself off of the AT launcher. A link is in the description if you want to check it out. So, last time that I played, I was working on building this magnificent reactor. And I suppose I'll touch up on a couple of things really quickly because I don't think I mentioned them in the last episode. First of all, redstone, destabilized redstone, not the most efficient thing to cool the reactor, but at the same time, relatively cheap, and I mean, it's pretty efficient. Not the most efficient, but pretty efficient. It's pretty high up there, so that's the reason why I used it. Other thing is that I've put in universal cables leading everything up. Some of you are probably freaking out because I am actually laying physical lines from the reactor up the tower. Some of you are probably freaking out because it would be a better idea to teleport the power up to higher levels, and to that I say, I want an infrastructure in place to carry the power. I don't want to rely on teleportation. It's just personal opinion. Also, there might be a way to construct this reactor to be more efficient, but I'm generating so much power off of it, you know, some 30,000 RF per tick. That's just so much power that I don't really need to be considering anything else. For that matter, it's the same reason why I've got so many ports on it to leech power off of it. Anyways, it's time to get down to business for the episode. There are a series of things that I need to do. Amongst them, well, quite simply put, just laying these cables around the facility, they're really sapping my resources, and I don't have enough diamonds because it takes 2 diamonds to make a single ultimate universal cable. Now that doesn't mean that I'm not going to use these cables. It means that I need to come up with a way to get more diamonds. And while it is possible with the magical crops mod to grow diamonds, I'm going to need to set up a completely separate area to put the farm down. Before I can get back into magical crops. So that solution is kind of nixed at the moment. I will get around to fixing that up. But in the meantime, there are other ways that I can get my hands on diamonds. None the least of which is utilizing the digital miner to mine diamonds out of the world. But there's also another method. I can compress coal to make diamonds, and that seems like a really nifty thing for me to put into the facility on the first floor here, which is why this episode is about diamond production. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to have to do to get around to that. But before I do, I've had this problem with certain types of gems cluttering my storage chests, and I can't combine them into blocks because they're gems out of the wrong mod. So I want to create an ore dictionary. Specifically, I want to make the ore dictionary from mariculture, which is built this way: a wooden construction block, which is just logs and fence, some copper, feathers, a book and quill, and a pearl. Now, the problem is that I don't have any pearls, and I didn't have any ender pearls on me. Luckily, I did manage to slay an enderman, but in the process of doing that, I went, because I didn't have ender pearls at one point, I went out to the sea, way to the south of my base, right down here, and I dredged up a couple of oysters, which are right down there. With oysters, I can cultivate pearls, but it takes a really stupid long time, so while those were cultivating, I was lucky enough to find an enderman and slay him, actually more than one enderman, and I've got 2 ender pearls, so I'm going to take one of these and create the automatic dictionary converter. Okay, so I have everything in my inventory to do it now, so just go ahead and make the wooden construction block, which is just fences and logs. Then go ahead and swap out over to this one. I can make the book right here like that, and then make the book and quill by combining the feather with it and the ink. Book at the top, feather left and right, and an ender pearl in the middle, and there we go, we have an automatic crafting dictionary. Now, the reason why I wanted this thing is because it's super useful for converting my gemstones into something that it's not. In order to use this thing, and I want to make a point that a lot of the UI that this thing uses has changed recently, so if you are using the Sphax texture pack, chances are this texture hasn't been updated and you've got something that looks completely different. It's one of these situations where the UI and the slots are set up one way and the picture is going to look a different way, which will completely confuse you. So if your UI doesn't have a grid layout like this, you need to modify your texture pack, okay? That's all I'm going to say. So the way that this works is that I left click to put an instance of the of whatever it is that I want to change, and I get a ghost image, and then I can left click this and change it to basically whatever version it corresponds with from a different mod. So what I have is a bunch of Immasher resource rubies, but what I want are the rubies from Biomes of Plenty. So I'm going to click it until it shows the particular version that I want, and then I'm going to just pop it in there. And something that I just didn't realize is that this is going to kick the item straight out into the chest next to it, which is a little bit problematic, but it's not going to kill anything. So it popped everything out on the other side, and there we go. I have rubies from Biomes of Plenty. And with this, I can now combine them in a crafting grid to make gemstone blocks, which is going to help me to clean up my inventory in a lot of my chests. I'll bother with doing that in my own time, but now you know how to make this thing, and you know how to use it. So there's the first thing off the list. Now, this particular episode is going to involve the diamond production and everything. So I have been progressively using this digital miner, and I've had it hooked up to the power system with the reactor downstairs, and using it at max capacity. I'm at you can see I've got it, the speed and the energy upgrades completely maxed out. I was even replacing things with leaf blocks, but I've been silk touch mining things out of the world. Amongst other things, I also have tons of diamonds here. And the way that you can tell that I have actually done this is if I come in here and actually type in star diamond and hit enter, hit save, and back out. If I hit start, there's nothing for it to mine out. It's not finding any diamond blocks. So, you know, right there, that's proof that I'm actually doing this type of stuff legit. Because ever since I ran that quarry, even though I ran the quarry, a lot of people have been crying foul, saying that, oh, you're cheating, you just don't show gathering the resources. And the truth is, I don't gather the resources on camera because that's a really boring process. That and the fact that it's automated now. So I've used it to collect up a whole bunch of coal blocks, as well as all of the redstone out of the world. But now I've got these diamonds, and I'm going to go ahead and run these diamonds through the enrichment chamber over here so that I can get my hands on tons and... where is it? There we go, the enrichment chamber. Gonna go ahead and dump those in there. And this is going to double my diamonds here. So I had like 3 stacks of diamond blocks. I'm gonna have 6 stacks of diamonds whenever this is done. And I'm gonna use all of these diamonds to start making more, a whole bunch of power cabling. And I'm going to route the power underground up into this cubicle over here. And I'll get back to you whenever I have the power in place. Okay, so I have routed a whole bunch of power cables under the ground in the basement and up through here. And the way that I've designed it here is that I'm going to have it hidden behind a pillar. So I've got a whole bunch of basalt brick covers by utilizing forge micro blocks. And I'm going to just cover over it like so. There we go, now it's hidden. You'd never know that it was there if you weren't looking for it. But that's not all. I've also got this block of aluminum, which I also want to make use of because I don't want those cables showing as they're covered up. And you'll find out why I need those cables up there in just a moment. I'm showing you how I'm just trying to beautify all of this. So there we go. Now, once I'm done, you won't be able to see any of this at all. So what I am trying to do is I'm trying to build a Buildcraft assembly table. So a Buildcraft assembly table is basically this piece of equipment that is in 2 parts. It's an assembly table, which is what actually does the creating and assembling of items. But it also requires lasers, which require power to function. So you have to put the lasers nearby the assembly table, and the lasers shoot out and they assemble something on the table. In this case, I'm going to be making the components required to make a heat press and an ore form, because you put an ore form into a heat press along with coal and it will compress it into diamonds. So what I need to make is an assembly table and lasers first to get this done, because, I mean, well, it's just one of those things. So an assembly table is composed of redstone, a diamond, a diamond gear, and obsidian. Okay, so should have everything I need. Shift click, there we go. We've got an assembly table. Now, that's not all. I also need lasers to accompany this. So laser. And this is the laser that we're looking for. Laser from Buildcraft Silicon. And it's just 2 diamonds, 5 redstone, and some obsidian. I need 9 of these babies. So I've got some diamond blocks on me. I'll go ahead and turn that into raw diamonds, and then, what do you know? Just perfect 9 lasers. Didn't expect it to pan out that easily. Now, I am convinced that there is a limited amount of what you can do to make this look good, because the assembly table, whenever placed down, it will and the things that it is crafting are completed, it will just spit. And I mean, it'll just spit the item out into the world unless a chest is next to it. Unfortunately, the stupid thing doesn't look like it's actually attached to anything. There's no way to hide the chest or anything like that. So I'm convinced that it doesn't matter what you do. There's no way to make it look good. And for that matter, you don't have to put the lasers here above the assembly table. You can also put it, you know, on the same level or a level above. They can be sitting on the floor if you want. I just prefer to put them above because I think it looks a little bit better that way. So let's just finish putting these lasers in. 1, 2, 3. And there you go. And it's looking a whole lot more nifty on the top side, at least. Not so much the bottom side because it's all ugly. So what I need this thing to do is create these energized ingots, which is gold, run through the assembly table. So basically the way the assembly table works is you put the resources over here, and whatever the assembly table can craft with the materials given, it'll show you over here. And in order to craft it, you just click on whatever it is, and it'll start lasering the table to manufacture whatever it is that you want to make. Now, because I have so many resources and I've got 9 lasers on this job, it's going to be manufacturing these energized ingots at a fairly steady pace. Since I have done that, let us go ahead and check things off the list. Can't forget to check stuff off the list. It shows progress. So what I need to do next is I need to make a heat press and an ore form. Now, the heat press is composed of 5 energized plates, a heat inductor, a chest, and 2 blocks of iron. So the 3 across the bottom, not too much trouble, but the energized plate is composed of 4 energized ingots. So right off the bat, that's 20 energized ingots that I'm going to need. And then the heat inductor is another 4. So I need 24 of these energized ingots, and I need redstone to go with it. So this should be coming right along. I'm more than halfway there already. Okay, I've got more than enough energized ingots to finish the job now, so all I have to do is hop over to the crafting table here and craft the heat inductor. Because I've already crafted the plates, I only need 2 of these. More energized ingots than I'm actually going to need. So, to manufacture the heat press, and I want 2 of these, so just shift click there, and I've got 2 heat presses. Now the thing is, these things are going to gobble up tons of power, okay? And whenever I say tons, I really do mean astronomical sums of power, because they are power-hungry machines. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some more of my ultimate cable here. Put this one over here as well, and hook it up just like so. It's a little bit ugly. I'll work on it to make it a little bit more palatable and pretty. But that's everything that I need for the heat press. Now what I need next is an ore form. Okay, so an ore form is a block of iron with a diamond. Now, luckily, I've got plenty of diamonds, and I've got plenty of iron blocks to make this happen. So I'm going to need 2 of these ore forms. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop my iron and my diamond in there. And there's something else that I can make called a spring form, but what I'm after is the iron ore form, which I'm going to need to send through there. And while I am waiting on those things to process up, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab all of as much coal as I possibly can out of here, and I'm going to send it through the processing system, the enrichment chamber, I believe it is, right over here, to make as much coal as I possibly can, because I'm going to be making a lot of this stuff. I'm going to need all of that coal in order to utilize these presses, because, like I said, I'm going to need tons of diamonds to actually wire the entire infrastructure of this building together. So I've got all these blocks of coal that I've been holding on to, and actually I've got... that turns into more than I can actually utilize. Now, what I need to do now is just pop a bunch of the coal into the heat press and come over here. I can grab the ore forms out and I can just left click, put one ore form in, and okay, it's gobbled up a bunch of the coal, but this arrow is going to very, very slowly fill up, and over time it's going to compress a full stack, so 16 out of each slot, into one diamond. That's going to take a long time, however, which is the reason why I made more than one. I'll put another one in there and convert this into additional coal. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then tick some more, and that's everything done. Everything I have been after is checked off the list. I've made a heat press, I've made ore forms, the assembly table and lasers, which is high-level Buildcraft stuff that I don't really actually see a whole lot of people make use of. The problem, actually, the biggest problem that I'm going to run into is that this thing is going to start running out of power, which means that I'm going to have to stay on point with the reactor downstairs and make certain that I have enough fuel to keep it running. That being said, that reactor is so efficient, I don't think I really have too much of anything to worry about. Okay guys, so it has been quite a while, I'd say 15 minutes or so, and these heat presses have finally produced diamonds for me. I want to stress the fact that this takes a ridiculous amount of power to do, in addition to the coal that I need. So, without further ado, everyone, I am William Strife, and this has been another episode of Strife Solutions. I've got myself some diamond processing and carbon compressing going on. Not too certain what I'm going to do next time, but I will for certain be improving the tech that is located in this magnificent building. Maybe I'll be expanding the platform in a short time as well. But until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye!